Okay, I'm gonna click the text tool another time, and this time I'm going to set the size at 64. I'm going to choose Georgia Bold. Okay. And I'm going to pick yellow as my color. Make it a bright yellow. And I'll leave these at 0 for now. And I will here and begin typing. And I type March, I'll press enter, and I will type 2015. And then I will click the move tool and move it where I want it to be. Okay, and yellow worked really well because the background is blue and white, the text is bright yellow, and it really stands out. It's very easy to read and it's quite bold. Now click the text tool again and highlight the fonts, and I will show you. This here adjusts the line spacing. I can go up and go up. You can see that because March and 2015 on separate lines, the more line spacing I add, the further the text moves away from each other. Okay, that might be a bit too excessive, but I'm just going to go back down. Maybe 6 is okay, or 5. And then this one was adjust letter spacing so that separates the text out. It increases the amount of space between individual letters. Okay, when you're happy with it, yeah, that's fine. There's also these other ones, justify and right align them. You can center them and try different settings for alignment. Actually, this one was pretty good, so yeah, I'll use that. Okay, and then I'll click outside, and then that locks it in. I'll click the rectangular tool. So you can see that is my second text, and so because I added more text, it shows up as a different layer here. Okay. The March layer and Egypt is Beautiful is on 2 separate layers. Okay. Now afterwards, you could also do the following. I can click the March layer, and any one of the we used earlier we can probably use to adjust the way the text looks. Okay, example, I can click the rotate tool, click here, and you can see I can click and drag the fonts, the words. I can click and drag that way, or I can change the values by clicking X and Y. Okay, but when I have a setting I like, I can change the angles. When you're finished adjusting things, just click rotate, and you can see I've rotated the text. Okay. And then when I click outside, okay, that doesn't look that good because some of it got clipped off. So I will probably cancel that. Okay, but let me just try it again. I will rotate. I will click the rotate tool, click on the text, and then I will increase. I will change the angle. You can see here, I can drag the slider, or I can even click and drag here. Okay. When you have moved the object where you will be, just click rotate, and it's been rotated. Okay. I will click my Egypt is Beautiful layer. Okay. Enter. I'll click my Egypt is Beautiful layer, and I will try to change the perspective of that layer. Okay, so again, these sliders, probably adjust how you want them to look. Click transfer, and then that changes the way the file. Okay. So I have adjusted two of the layers, and the last thing I want to show you is how you can actually convert this file, which is a XCF file, that's a GIMP file. I want to show you how to convert it to a JPEG file. So what we're going to do is first we're going to click on the layer, any one of these layers, right click, go to merge visible layers, and then that will open up this dialog box called merge layers. Just click merge and watch what happens. You basically get in 3 layers, you combine all 3 layers into one layer. Okay. Now that means I can no longer adjust the March 2015 or the Egypt is beautiful, because those layers have combined with the background and we only have one layer now. I basically can't change anything without affecting it. But I want you to go to File and go to Export As, and that option lets you export the image to various other file formats such as PNG or JPEG. So when I click that, this dialog box opens up, and you can see here that you have to choose where you're going to save it. So removable disk, and then here there's a plus arrow next to the select file type. I click that, and it opens a list of all the different types of file formats you can save your image as. Okay, and it's alphabetical, so you basically just have to go find JPEG image. Okay, find that, and it should add JPG to the end of your file name. So I call this daughter in front of pyramid with text Lao Stanley, and then it adds the file extension JPG. So I click export, and because I had already saved it earlier, it warns me this already exists, do you want to replace it? I'll click replace, and then this box comes up, export image as JPEG. You choose the quality. Of course, I don't want low quality, I want higher quality, but of course if you have a higher quality JPEG, the file will be a larger file, so keep that in mind. Okay, I click export, and basically it's going to convert and save it as a JPEG instead of an XCF file. Now you'll see up here, however, that it's still an XCF file because that's what's open. But if you go into your My Computer and you go into removable disk and you look for the picture, there is the one I've exported. Okay, it's this one. It's a JPEG. It's 597 kilobytes compared to the original, which was 1,102 kilobytes. But the good about a JPEG is if you open it, it will open up with Windows Reviewer, and you can basically use any device to open and view JPEGs. Cell phones, smartphones, tablets, Apple computers, as well as PC computers. JPEG is a universal file format, so any device should be able to open up a JPEG.